We're on to our big debate tonight, and we are coming back to this problem because of the number of phone calls and emails we received from our viewers who've reached out to us. We promised our viewers we would revisit the issue of why citizens are denied homes based on their caste, their gender, their food habits, or their sexual orientation. The question we are asking again tonight: should you have the freedom to choose where you live? If you faced any sort of discrimination when buying or renting a home, and it's come down to simple things like whether or not you are a non-vegetarian. Should societies be allowed to discriminate based on food habits? Is that actually a thinly veiled way of keeping people from other religions out of housing societies? Do housing societies have that power? Join us on our online poll or pick up the phone and call us. We've put together an exhaustive panel representing both sides, and we want to come out and talk about this because talking about it is the first step to solving the problem. Yes or no, you can vote on Twitter. We'll tell you the results of that poll at the end of the show. Joining me in the studio today talking about whether or not housing society should be allowed at all to discriminate, Ashok Rao Kavi is the chairman of the Humsafar Trust and editor of the Bombay Dost. He'll join us in the conversation as we carry on. Sushant Digvikar is a model and a gay activist who joins me in the studio. Harish Iyer, gay rights activist, joins us on Skype. Naveen Chomal, senior advocate of the Mumbai High Court. Aditya Pratap, advocate, Mumbai High Court as well. Sujay Kantawala, senior lawyer. Varis Patan is an MLA and an advocate who joins us as well. Pandit Ajay Gautam, founder of the HumHindu.com. Dr. Indira Tiwari, General Secretary of the Hindu Mahasabha. I'd like to welcome all of our panelists to this conversation. The idea is to make it as frank as possible and to talk about the issues that we're facing so we can actually be open about it on both ends. Whoever wants to open up this debate is willing. I'm opening up the panel right now to whoever wants to start talking. And I want to talk about discrimination that you might have faced at some point. Go ahead.
Article 14 of the Constitution, read with Article 19, guarantees certain freedoms. These are fundamental rights by birth. You are born in this country, you get these rights. Nobody can take them away from you. Article 21. Now let me concentrate on Article 19.
No, but is housing a fundamental right?
I can stay anywhere I want as long as I follow the law. Now, if the Cooperative Society Act says that a particular person who is admitted as a member in the society has to follow certain rules, I have to follow the rules. Otherwise, I'll be expelled. But if I am an adult, if I have the money, I can buy a property anywhere, provided my seller is selling it to me. There is no law on earth that can stop me from buying a property in any region of my choice.
Do the housing society bylaws allow housing societies to write that in their laws?
They don't do that. In fact, that is why they bypass these rules and they try to alienate. In fact, if people from all communities live together, that will be what a cosmopolitan society is. That is what a democracy is. If you have people from different cultures, different walks of life living together, then there will be healthy dialogue. And let me tell you, just because one community lives in one society, you think there are no disputes, there are no fights? Of course there are fights. Where there are human beings, there are going to be arguments. Right, and there will be healthy arguments.
Right. Varis Patan, there's no denying, of course, that this sort of discrimination happens. I was just referring to this report written by A.J. Nurani, who's a Supreme Court and a Bombay High Court judge, who said there's absolute evidence of the fact that India's has striking variations in landlords' treatments towards Muslims, towards backward classes and scheduled castes. Is there any room for argument anymore that this sort of discrimination happens in our housing societies and across the country?
You see, of course it happens. Let me tell you one thing, that we are living in a democratic country. And in democracy, every individual has got a right to live of his own choice, at his own place, wherever he wishes to. But this divide and rule policy was formulated by the British government, and now certain unscrupulous builders are adopting this policies not only in India but in island city of Mumbai itself. We have seen so many instances where Muslim people were denied place in a society which was constructed by some non-Muslim builder. So why it is discrimination on the basis of food? Because the answer that was given or the reason that was given was that if we allow them to stay here, they will cook non-veg food. What harm is there? We go to a restaurant, we eat food, non-veg, veg, every food is available there. We are living in a country where we celebrate all the festivals together. We don't say that we don't celebrate Holi or you don't celebrate Eid. We celebrate all the festivals together. So why do they not permit us to stay together? When the constitution guarantees us, when there is a freedom, when the article in the constitution itself says that person has a right to live, as quoted by Mr. Katawala, article 14, 19, 21, they are there. So why? So I would tell you that those people who are creating such kind of disturbances or dividing the two communities on the basis of this must be taken proper thing with the police. There should be a complaint lodged with the police, and such kind of things should not be permitted anywhere, not in Mumbai, but everywhere.
Should not be
where
permitted.
A person wants to decide if I want to buy a flat in a particular society, and if I am ready to pay the amount, who is the builder to disallow me to stay there?
Who is the builder to disallow anybody who can afford to buy legally? Naveen Chamal?
There should be a stringent law.
The builder and the housing society. Naveen Chamal.
Faye, continuing from what we left the last time, see, let us not pose some erroneous questions before ourselves, but let us pose the real questions and let us not make it...
What do you mean by erroneous questions? I don't understand what you mean.
Please let me explain, please.
And you're questioning my question, Naveen.
Yes.
My question is, should people be denied religion? Should people be denied
that is
residence based on their religion? What's wrong with the question? It's a fairly straightforward question.
No, with due respect, madam, that is what I am answering to. And let this not be a essay recital competition that each one prepares an essay that this article, that article, वगैरह.
No,
let us understand
we've
what
not
is the
prepared
reality
essays,
in the
Naveen
society.
Chamal. People are quoting the Constitution.
Naveen,
I think that technically, if I have
very
lawyers on the
question by
panel, they
her.
should be
So why
allowed
can't
to
we
quote
just
the
answer?
Constitution.
See, there is no denying the fact that a constitution provides certain things. But first of all, as very rightly pointed out by you, Article 19 doesn't mean that you can compel somebody to sell your house to me. Or you can compel somebody, yes, I want to stay as a tenant in your house. The person also should be ready.
No. So let's...
For the law of contract, both the parties should be willing.
The Constitution deserves a more liberal interpretation.
No, Naveen Chamal, my argument to that is, let's assume buyer and seller are both willing. My question is, can housing society deny the right? If buyer and seller are both willing, can housing society deny the NOC, which is what happens on the ground?
That is not the law. That is not the law. The housing society doesn't come into picture. The problem where
I beg to differ, the housing society comes into picture far too often.
Is the landlord himself is not willing to let his flat to the Muslims
about the case
or
of the
say
landlord
gays.
really wish to
doing
define
something.
this
Let's
point.
talk about the housing society doing something.
The housing society has no locus, it has no right to stop any seller from selling his flat to any person. Housing society only controls the common area and facilities of a building, and once a flat is sold by a registered instrument, only the share certificates have to be transferred and the
That is
purchaser
true,
can apply to the society.
Unfortunately, it happens
Society
far
cannot
too
block a
often.
sale.
Dr. Indira Tiwari should... I mean, there's an argument here, of course, that if the buyer and the seller or the renter and the owner of the apartment are willing to enter into a deal between the two of them, the housing society in no way should stop any sort of deal. The housing society is not in a position to turn around and say, we will not allow Muslims, we will not allow gay people, we will not allow single people, which is what normally happens.
We can't even say we will not allow pets.
You raised three questions before, commencement of this panel discussion. I heard everybody very carefully. The first one was from the legal expertise, who was quoting only about the nuances of the law. If the law is a question over there, if a law violation is there, then best course of the remedy is to address to the court of law. Why to make hue and cry on the media, and media cannot sort out, though I appreciate D'Souza, that it's a your human approach to get the cosmopolitan culture into society, but the problem remains the same. Society, when you conceptualize a society, society has got its own norms and values, even in the nomad society. And you cannot deny, you cannot get away from those norms and values of the society.
What are the norms and values you're referring to?
You cannot make such an argument in today's era. Our country is governed by the Constitution.
What are these,
The object
Dr.
of the law
Tiwari?
is to reform these structures.
Dr. Tiwari, what are these norms that you're referring to? Tell us what the norms are that you're referring to.
See, it's not me. It's not me. I am not the commandant or I'm not the contractor, or I'm not the, the leader of any society. It's the society, whichever in the area they are forming and ruling that area of the
Society,
dominance.
the buildings.
It's their society. It's their society, and
No,
if
but that
they
would
feel,
then automatically give the power to make rules to any majority of any space.
Exactly.
Simply based on
If they
numbers,
don't
and
have
that is
the
unfair to the
influence,
minority. That's unfair.
No, in fact, there is one more point we can consider here.
If they are denying,
We can consider Rule 3
in
of
black and
the
white,
RERA rules.
If they are denying in black and white, they definitely violate the law, and then the law should take its own course. But if it is not black and white, as per the law,
Sushant,
Madam,
Sushant, how often
everything is
is a
black and white
denial
now.
in black and white?
Just-
How often will
it's
someone
just
give you a letter
racial
telling you why they won't
taxes
give
to
you a
be
house to rent?
Absolutely not. There's hardly, it's very subtle, so that's the whole thing,
No,
right?
and furthermore, we have Rule 3 of the RERA rules, which clearly state Rule 3 of the RERA rules now, which are enforced, are
Madam,
coming in force.
I think she's
Doctor-
They
talking
clearly
to us.
state that no promoter shall discriminate between buyers
She's talking
on
to
account of
herself.
religion.
Dr. Tiwari, my question to you.
1 minute.
Yes.
In Ghatkopar, people will have a separate law. In Mohammad Ali Road, people will have separate law. Nepinsi Road, people will have separate law. So what are we talking about? Then why are we having the rule of law in this country?
Well, I would agree with Mr. Kantawala. We have
Law is above all.
languages and
Doctor-
communities here.
Dr. Indira
If
Tiwari,
such a practice is
Dr.
allowed to
Indira
happen,
Tiwari, don't. If you keep shouting, we will not achieve anything. Hang on, I want everybody to stop for a second. This is not one of those shows.
I was not told I am a Hindu, or Varis was not told. We were told that by our parents. We are all human beings, and we are all citizens of this country. Rule of law has to prevail. One cannot have a different rule in Sayan and one different rule in Dadar and different rule in Dongri.
Just for the
Rule
benefit
has
of
to
our
be
audience,
equal for everyone.
for our-
Law is equal.
For the benefit of our audience, this is what the law says. Article 21 of our Constitution says no person can be denied his life or personal liberty, which is the freedom to live where he wants to live, based on his religion, caste, sex, or place of birth. Article 14 says the state shall not deny any person equality before the law or equal protection from the law based on religion, race, caste, sex, and place of birth. Now, we can argue what all of this means, but the law has always in our country been very clear about the fact that you cannot discriminate. Nobody can discriminate, whether it's a housing society, whether it's a school, whether it's a place of work. And we're talking right now about our ability to buy homes or rent homes if we have the financial capacity to do so. If our money is white, if we are adults, if we are legal, if we follow the law, what should stop us?
And if we are not
In
convicted
fact,
criminals.
one major point we
And
can
you're
make here
productive.
is that the central government is already taking steps in this direction.
Right.
Rule 3 of the RERA rules, which are now coming in force, clearly says that no builder or no promoter shall discriminate between buyers on the basis of religion or community. Any person who comes, the deal has to be market-based. There can be no discrimination. The only thing which I feel is lacking here is that the central government could have easily made this the law because
Which has not
under
been done.
because
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Because under the Constitution, Article 246 and the 7th Schedule, the subject of housing is not restricted to state governments or
Okay,
municipal
I
bodies.
want to bring in
The
everybody
central government has
into
the power
this
to do it,
conversation.
but they have not done it.
Sushant,
Yes.
from the community that you deal with, how often are people turned away when they want to rent homes? How often are people turned away when they want to buy homes?
About buying, I think they're not turned away a lot because it's between the buyer and the seller, and then it's that. But when it comes to renting out houses, they kind of get very judgmental in as to what your sexual orientation is. Now, if I'm gay or straight, it doesn't. I'm not going to have. It's not necessary that it just means that if you're gay, you're going to have that much amount of sex or whatever, like with your partner, which should not be, of any importance to anybody else, what I'm doing inside my house. But the thing is that I'm gay, but I'm not like, I don't have
Right.
having sex
That's
on my
no
to-do
reason to-
list.
yeah,
And, if that's the whole idea of, and that's their whole premise of turning me away, it doesn't make sense at all.
Ashok?
Yes.
Ashok Kavi.
No, buying and selling, I'm not very sure that there's too much discrimination.
Absolutely.
Because they're between two individuals, and
Yes.
usually it's a private contractual basis.
Yeah.
So, but definitely there are societies where there's a huge amount of discrimination on renting or giving on lease properties to LGBT people, especially if you're looking obviously, say, gay or transgender. Transgendered people just do not get housing in Bombay. That's why you'll see most of the transgendered people living on the outskirts, say beyond the city limits, or sometimes in slums, semi-paka houses, because in proper societies, they just don't get rental housing. For single women, it's terrible. If there are 2 or 3 women together, they, who want to say air hostesses usually, they never get housing on rent because the sort of landlord says, oh, you're going to run a prostitution racket here. This has happened in so many cases. There have been women's NGOs which have not got spaces to rent because they say this is not an NGO for women. This is obviously you're running a sex work racket, a prostitution racket. 2 or 3 men living together. I know that the maids are asked to sort of observe why do these 2 men, why do they want a double bed? I mean, I've seen maids even asking you, the lady next door wants to know whether you have separate beds. That's ridiculous. This is prying. There must be some basic modicum of behavior to be followed in the society. That much I agree. In public spaces, you can't do a lot of things which you want to do. But in your own space, to try and spy on you, to say that we don't want people like you because you're going to become criminals if you have sex with each other, then even I become accessory to that crime. That's nonsense.
It's not just, Ashok, it's not just limited to, like you said, the LGBT community, single women, people who are non-vegetarians. We have an entire stretch of Marine Drive which is completely against anybody who is non-vegetarian. I mean,
they are not allowed to keep eggs. The grocers on Marine Drive are saying they're not allowed to keep eggs.
Which will go through your garbage to see what you consumed the previous night. This is the kind of world we live in. I want to bring in Pandit Ajay Gautam. Pandit Ajay Gautam, if you can hear me.
Is this not creating discrimination amongst people?
Go ahead. Go ahead, Varis.
No.
Is this not creating discrimination among different kind of people, as they said that they are not allowed even to keep eggs there? Why this discrimination? Then why is the government silent on such kind of unscrupulous people who are not letting them? And as the other person said, there are certain bylaws of the society. Bylaws of the society cannot supersede the constitution and the article which is written in the constitution.
Agreed.
Nobody is above law. No society bylaws can supersede the law which is laid down in the constitution, which is guaranteed in the article 21 and the 19.
Pandit Ajay Gautam.
Bylaws of the societies are formulated as per that, and you cannot discriminate. See, when we celebrate festivals together, why don't we allow to stay together? Why are we not allowed to stay together if we can celebrate festivals together? This mindset is very bad. See, we are talking about the mindset of certain people. Allow me to speak. Allow me to say, madam.
Dr. Indira, please allow him to finish making his point. Dr. Indira Tiwari, please allow him to finish making his point. Let him finish making his point. I'll give you an opportunity to respond.
Nobody intervened when you were speaking, madam.
Let me make my point, madam.
1 second, ma'am. Dr. Indira Tiwari, let's stay on point of housing societies. I want him to be able to finish his point. Varis Pathan, finish your point, and then we'll give them an opportunity to rebut it. Varis Pathan.
We are on the point of the housing society is not letting the other communities stay there. See, we had an example of Imran Hashmi, the film star, who was denied a flat in Bandra locality by a builder. So he went to the court, and the court allowed him to be seen. If he's got the capacity to purchase the flat, why should he not be allowed to purchase a flat by any builder? How can he discriminate amongst people who are staying in one society? True. When we are talking about one country, when we are talking about Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, then why do we discriminate people on the basis of religion and don't allow them a place in our society? We must give them place. Nobody is creating any hurdles. Nobody is coming in your home and cooking food. We are cooking food in our home. You are cooking food in your home. So why don't we follow the constitution? You say about bylaws of the societies. They cannot supersede what is stated in the constitution. Bylaws are made as per the constitution. Bylaws are made as per the law.
All right, fair enough. Let me get a response from Pandit Ajay Gautam.
You cannot just come and say that the society has formulated its law.
All right, let me get a response from Pandit Ajay Gautam. Pandit Ajay Gautam, should societies be allowed? Is this not basic discrimination against us as humans, as Indians? Shouldn't we rise above this as a society, as a community, as a nation?
Because this is my choice. Who will live in my house? Because this is decided by me. There is no other locus standi to decide the other people.
See, we're not talking about your house, Pandit Gautam. We're not talking about your house. We're talking about the housing society.
I listen all of you. Just listen me patiently for 1 minute only.
They are mixing everything.
Does Mr. Waris Pathan allowed her houses for the Hindu pilgrimage for the Amarnath Yatra? Just ask to the Mr. Waris Pathan, they allowed their houses, which is the government property. When they have to make the distribution.
Oh my God, why being personal and religious? We're discussing a very basic issue.
Pandit Ajay Gautam, my question to you is about housing societies.
Nobody wants to go into his house and find out how it's living. It's the housing society that is the issue.
Let me, hang on, everybody. Pandit Gautam, my question to you, I'm repeating my question because you have not understood my question. My question to you is housing societies. I am not talking about individual homeowners. I'm talking about housing societies, cooperative housing societies. Should housing societies be denying people? Should housing societies be denying people? That's my question to you, Pandit Gautam.
Please, can I take over from Pandit Gautam?
I think you please take over from Pandit Gautam because we cannot hear and talk at the same time.
We have denied legally, or it's just a hearsay, or it's just a mere practice through media to pressurize, to intervene and disturb the thread and fabric of the society.
Madam, it's a reality. It's a reality.
It's a reality. We are not discussing whether or not it's happening.
Let me say this.
Yes.
It's a reality.
The country in the dark ages. This is
One
not
second.
acceptable.
One second.
It's a reality, Fave. It's
Sujay.
a reality. Let's face it as a country, as a citizen, as citizens of this country. Let's face facts. This does happen, discrimination does happen. We have to see to it that people from different communities come and stay together, gay, straight, whatever you call it. Everyone has a right to stay wherever they want. These are fundamental rights and there are fundamental duties. Yes. So therefore, if there is an antisocial element, there is a convicted criminal, definitely a society can say, no, we don't want you in our society. We are a reputed society. We have got children over here. Suppose there is an offender. I would go out and say that I don't want him. Don't give him an NOC. The flat will not be sold to a convicted criminal.
Yes.
No. If he is a good citizen.
In fact, just to prove this point, one second.
In fact, there is one major point to be made here.
After completing
Why
his
the law does
imprisonment,
one at a time, please. One at a time.
So if he has finished his imprisonment, why should we not be given a place to stay in the society? Why not society give him time to reform himself? Should we not give an opportunity?
I just want to bring in one person on the phone line. Varis Pathan, just give me 1 second.
Come out and he cannot be given a place to live.
Okay,
we
1
are
second.
living
1
in a
second, Varis.
democratic country, sir.
Yeah, fair point. I have Majid who has called us right now just to prove this point and put this to rest about whether or not this still happens across the country. We have viewers who are calling in to share their experiences. Majid is on the phone line. Majid, have you ever faced discrimination based on your religion or your food habits?
Yes, actually, since the past 5 years, we are trying to locate a house in Chembur, and we are categorically told that Muslims cannot buy or rent a house in Chembur.
Oh, that's sad.
And I'm married to a Hindu. Still, they have this issue with us. I mean, they categorically tell us that, I'm sorry, this is a vegetarian-only society. And I've been born and brought up in Chembur, and it's very sad that, they tell us to locate a house from our type areas, which would be like Mira Road or something like that. But it's very sad that coming from educated backgrounds, that we have to constantly being shunted out wherever.
Majid, let's name and shame on this show right now. Tell me the names of the builders. Tell me the names of the housing societies that are doing this right now in Chembur.
There are a lot of societies. You have Kalpana Padma Society in Chembur. You have Safal Group. You have Runwal, who categorically tell you that we'll give you this floor. We'll give you the first floor facing the slums or something like that. And it's pretty constant, and they tell us to buy under construction so the neighbors won't know who their neighbors are. I mean, it's pretty sad for my family to undergo this kind of behavior. And coming from educated society is pretty sad. Even my brother had to move to Bandu because we just couldn't locate a house here. And if you call any society, if you call any real estate agent, it's pretty simple. The government can call any agent and tell them your surname is Khan or a Sheikh, and they'll tell you, okay, call back later. It's pretty simple. I mean, it's not rocket science to know that Muslims are just not allowed, or even non-vegetarians are not allowed now. Satyam Builders in Chembur doesn't allow non-vegetarians.
Non-vegetarians, single people, Muslim people. I want to just point this out, okay? I want to point out that if this is how we run our country, this is Chembur in Mumbai, if this is how we run our country, then we shouldn't be renting out a home to our former president, the late Abdul J. Kalam. Because he was single, he was Muslim. We shouldn't be, if we don't want to rent out to single men, our Prime Minister. He's single.
No, the irony is that we can rent out places to foreigners, to Britishers, but not to our own citizens of the country.
Terrible story that Pachit was just telling us. Terrible story. Buildings like Safar, buildings like Zanzibar.
Mr. Majid was very
The government must take steps against them.
But the biggest problem is that
Britishers are allowed to stay, foreigners are allowed to stay, but not the citizens of the country.
Law punishes through deterrence, and the biggest problem is that there is no criminal offence, no punishment which can be imposed on a society or its chairman or its committee members for denying a person of a particular community any residence or rent.
I demand right now
all the acts,
that we put
all the laws
pressure.
which are in force, they provide for civil remedies. Yes, you can go to court, you can obtain injunctions, you can obtain interim orders. But to punish the people who indulge in such a problem is a little difficult because the criminal law in this point is very sketchy. In fact, even the RERA bill which has come out, of course, the RERA bill is a little more stringent. Rule 3 says that
the government must come out with certain sections in the criminal law where such kind of builders to be charged for not giving up permission for a particular person in religion
we should demand that our central government include a clause.
The government must formulate certain laws.
When I work in the
government
court,
must formulate certain laws to curb this menace.
When I work in the court, I work with lawyers of all communities. I travel with lawyers of all communities. I don't see who's sitting next to me in a plane or a train or a bus. So what is the difference does it make when anybody from any community, as long as we get along and as long as he's a good neighbor and follows the rules, is a neighbor?
Okay.
How can I stop anyone?
Naveen Chamal, yes. I want to bring you in here. You heard that account that we heard of Sergeant who called us, Chembur, Mumbai, not able to buy a home. People are telling him to go to Meera Road. He has the money. He wants to live in Chembur. He grew up in Chembur. He's being rejected by his own neighborhood. What is your response to that?
See, this particular phenomena, social phenomena, is existing everywhere. You see all part of Mumbai and other cities. So ultimately, we have to go behind the reason. What must be the reason behind it?
What is the reason? Naveen Chamal, what is the reason?
The general perception, it's not my personal view. I am talking as a social scientist, what I have been seeing in the society. The general perception of the view, perception of the people is this thing, that if Muslims are staying in our neighborhood, they are very aggressive, they keep on fighting, and they are very troublesome people. And the people who come to their house, we don't know who the people must be, what background must be there. So every society people, they are scared of, say, giving a house to a Muslim on rent or selling the flat on Muslim to rent. Even seller will not sell it to the Muslim because he is afraid.
You provide house to a Britisher. Yeah. You can give house to a foreigner,
Britishers don't come
but you cannot provide a Muslim. Who said that Muslims are meant to buy? You mean to say that house should not be given to Muslims?
No, I am not giving my views.
What do you mean by that, Mr. Shumal?
I am not giving my views, Mr. Pathan.
What do you mean to say that the Muslims are not good people or what?
In the society.
We are the citizens of this country.
No, Mr. Pathan. If you are sincere about the cause,
sir, we are the citizens of this country.
Let us understand where the problem lies and let us try to find a solution.
Why? What is the cause of this nervousness? Naveen Chamal, what is the cause of this nervousness that you speak of?
Allegations against the community at large.
I am not leveling allegations, Mr. Pathan. Don't deviate the topic.
What is the cause? Naveen Chamal, tell me what is the cause of this nervousness that you are mentioning?
Let us find a solution. Let us all communities sit together. Let us form some organization and let us form a harmony group and then
find a solution.
So all these condemning people and builders and societies will not solve the problem.
That is what I am saying.
Yes. So let us first find where the problem lies. So let us admit where the problem is, and then we can find a solution.
So there
But
is
by
no
not
point
admitting
trying
the
to find out
problem,
where the problem
or even
lies.
blaming the builders and
problem
societies,
has
it will not solve the problem.
Absolutely.
And
Over
particularly
across
when we are
many
sitting in a
countries.
very
This problem
creating
forum of
discrimination between people in this
casteism,
country.
it has been
They
Let
can
us-
go
Harish
back to
Iyer.
foreigners,
Let us work out
British
a
and
solution
colonial
for it.
we need
citizens
a
of their own
strong
country.
legal mechanism, a strong
Okay.
catalyst.
Okay, so
to
here's
make
the question. Here's the question. We're boiling it
There is
down
no
to
point looking for
do
the
we
source.
need
Find a solution
legal
where it's
remedies?
invisible.
Let's discuss
It's
what
invisible.
You can't
Very
say
true.
something which is invisible, sir.
Very true.
Let us.
Okay, hang
let
on,
us
hang
just
on,
break
hang on.
this down.
Yeah.
Let us just break this
Harish.
down. First, is there discrimination? Yes, there is discrimination.
Yes.
Is the discrimination allowed by the law? I'm telling
No,
you, it's
discrimination
not
is not allowed by the
The
law,
housing
but
society
it is
cannot,
present
cannot
everywhere.
impose
So let us
any kind
find
of
why the reason, why it is the
discrimination. Not
being
in-
done.
One second,
What
let
is the
him
reason for it?
Why
And then
the
find a
law-
solution.
Mr. Chomal,
How should
Mr.
we
Chomal,
do it?
let him finish his point. Naveen has not, Harish has not
I'm
spoken up
On
till
and
now.
on
I want to give
and
Harish a
on.
chance
The same
to give us
thing
his
is being
views.
decided by
Naveen, one
everybody.
second.
So
Naveen,
let
one
us
second.
move
Naveen.
ahead now. Let us accept what the problem is.
Okay,
Let's find a
let's
solution.
just listen to Harish.
I'm
Let's
also-
just listen to
It
Harish.
is like an essay telling competition. Everybody is come with an essay.
No, but I think
where
that
is the solution?
your essay
Let us
started
come with the
with
ideas to
everybody's
find a
come with an
solution.
essay. I think
Faith,
that's your
it is such a beautiful program you are conducting.
Naveen Chomal,
So let
Naveen
us
Chomal,
go
you are
ahead
not
and try
listening.
to find a
Naveen Chomal,
solution.
you are not
Let us
listening.
come together with the views how we can find a solution. Everybody
but that's
is
what we're trying
preparing
to
an
do if
essay.
you allow
Okay,
us.
all right. Naveen Chomal, for your benefit.
There can be no
Naveen Chomal, for your benefit, I am just going to go around asking people for their solutions to the problem.
Yes, yes.
We have
Let us find
accepted that there is a
solutions.
problem.
Yeah.
We have accepted this is a problem that
Yes.
lies within our cultural fabric over centuries and generations. How do we solve the problem?
Yes.
Harish Iyer, what is your suggestion? How do we solve the problem? Let's just get straight to the solution.
Yes.
One is a legal remedy where we definitely need to have fines imposed on housing societies which do something like this. The second is, of course, heightened awareness amongst people. We need to tell people, we need to come together and we need to tell people that we are not going to bear this discrimination.
Exactly.
And we are going to out what you did right now by asking the caller to speak out the name of the builder on TV who denied him this thing. That's something that we need to do. We need to name and shame people. I'm telling you that there are many societies, forget in the name of caste, creed or this thing. According to the Animal Welfare Board of India, you can't even discriminate and you can't even deny your house to somebody who has a pet. Even that is not allowed. So let us keep that very clear and let us make our societies, our understanding society. I would want you, the anchor, to go back and tell your society that you can't discriminate. Even if there is no discrimination over there, it's important that we tell people about the law, about the fact that they cannot discriminate, and we fight and we keep fighting for a law that will penalize people who discriminate basis caste, creed, religion, or even pet ownership.
And in reaction to that, I would like to tell our audience, Naveen,
law will not
one
solve
second.
the problem. Law will not solve the problem. Here it is the society we should come together. The like-minded
That's
people
what
in
I
the
said.
society should
You
come
didn't hear me.
together,
You didn't
form
hear
an
the second part.
association,
Law is the
discuss
catalyst
the
for
reality,
change.
and
Okay.
try
All right,
to
fair
find
enough.
a
solution. You cannot
I
bridge the
must tell our
between the
viewers
society.
that on this channel, we
must
will
bridge the
open up
gaps
a
between the
platform for
societies.
you to come up and talk about it. If you're facing discrimination, this channel and this show is constantly available to you. Come in, name the people who are discriminating against you. Tell us the names and we will pass those names on to whoever we can within the government. We will go and meet them personally. We'll bring them on the show and we will question them. Sujay, go ahead.
Hats off to your
I love you
channel
for
for
this.
starting this now. This has to continue, and dialogue. I feel that educated people, well-meaning people, if they come together on platforms, and this is a beautiful platform. We have people from all spectrums over here. So dialogue. We have a healthy dialogue, healthy criticism. Some people may have X view, I may have a Y view. Let's all mingle the views together and thereafter find out a solution. Ultimately, the solution will only be when religious leaders decide that they have to, mohalla committees come together, educated people come together, and such platforms create dialogues and solutions.
Let's talk
because
about it.
law may be on paper, but if it is not implemented by people, real people in flesh and blood, what is the use of the law on paper?
Exactly.
So the point is this, that well-meaning people like Naveen, Varis, Pratap, all of us, Sushant, we are all here, and such kind of platforms, such kind of debates and dialogues are the only way to educate and bring about a solution.
All right. Dr. Ajay, Pandit Ajay Gautam, do you agree that we should talk about it, that we should solve these problems, that we should find solutions?
I'm not hearing you for the last 15 minutes and nobody here to solve this.
Okay, you've not been able to hear us. We will solve that problem.
I'm sorry, but this kind of attitude, this kind of approach will not help.
No, Sujoy,
have to
let us
be
not
participative,
criticize
sir.
him, because he's also got a viewpoint which is prevailing in the society entirely everywhere. So
Dr. Indra Tiwari, Dr. Indra Tiwari, Dr. Indra Tiwari. Okay, Naveen, 1 second. Dr. Indra Tiwari, if we accept that there is discrimination, do you agree that we should work towards a solution?
Listen, fair D'Souza.
Yes.
It goes both ways, you know.
Okay.
One thing I have very much pained and agonized, that the channel or the print media only talks about one side of the coin, not the other side of the coin.
Yes, really.
Why this problem is prevailing is in your version for centuries, then the problem lies with that particular society or with that particular community who is trying this platform to communalize the issue.
I think the problem lies with us.
Sorry,
No. My question is, should we look for a solution?
Well, there is a solution, in fact. Let me make a point here.
We're talking about solutions. Okay, first of all, Dr. Indira Tiwari, we have, hang on, everyone hang on. We have both sides of the story here because we've invited you to the panel to give us your opinion, Dr. Indira Tiwari. Give us your opinion because we want to hear both sides of the story. We are not communalizing this, we are looking for solutions.
Done with his statement. Why he is now poking his nose in my statement? I have free opportunity to express myself. Why is he intervening? That shows his intentions.
Let's come to the point here.
Offer me a solution, Dr.
There is a
Tiwari.
very good legal remedy available under
1 second,
Section
Dr. Tiwari, offer me a solution. I'm looking for a solution. Dr. Tiwari, I'm looking for a solution. Can you offer me a solution?
To rehabilitate the Kashmiri Pandits over there?
Madam, you are trying to incorporate foreign issues into a discussion.
Okay, Paris Pathan.
It's not a foreign issue, Mr.
Paris Pathan.
The issue is not a part of the topic here.
Paris Pathan, give me a solution. Let's move on with this debate. Let's move on with this
It is
debate.
foreign to the topic.
To the topic.
It is an important
She's
issue.
going on that.
Yes.
Paris Pathan, what is the solution for the problem we are facing as a
I
society?
agree with what Mr. Katawala said. The solution to it is, I agree with Mr. Katawala's suggestion that we must have certain kind of debates, but then there should be certain steps taken by the government. The government
Yes.
must formulate certain stringent provisions in law,
Yes.
which would see that such kind of builders who deny people of other religions to stay in a particular society, they must be
Well,
dealt with
I
according
beg to
law.
differ.
And penalty is
Government
not the
cannot
only
solve
solution.
these type of
That builder
problems.
should not
It
be
is for
given an
we
OC.
people in the society
That
to come
builder's
together.
permission to
It
build
will
another
require
society should be
a large
scrapped.
scale
And that builder
understanding
should
and
be
bridging
built
of the gaps
for a
between two
criminal
different
offense.
societies.
There
In
should
fact,
be
let
certain
me
By
propose a
punishing
plausible
revenge
solution.
will not solve.
Let's suppose a person is discriminated today. What does he do?
Person who wants to
The
buy
best way for a
property in
person who
particular
faces
society
discrimination
be
is
permitted
to move
buy
the cooperative court
without
under
Okay, one by one, one by one, please.
Every
Okay.
individual, every citizen of this country must be permitted to live in a place of his own choice.
All right.
That is
I have
the
Rohan
solution.
on the phone
There
line.
should be certain provisions implemented by the government.
Right, I have Rohan
in
on the
law.
phone line. Paris Pathan, I have Rohan on the phone line. And our phones are ringing off the hook. People want to call in right now and share their stories. Rohan, thank you for holding. I've kept you on hold for a while. Tell us what your experience has been.
Yeah, hi. My name is Rohan and I stay in Chembur.
Yes?
So I recently moved into the city some 3 months ago, and for the past 2 months I've been trying to, I was trying to look out for a house, but I couldn't land up with one because the house owners kept rejecting me because of my sexuality. I'm gay basically, and I'm out to my family, but more than my family, the house owners seem to have a problem with it. And I had to stay put up at Thane with a relative of mine till I found a house. Now I found a house, but those 2 months have been really excruciating.
Rohan, tell me how that made you feel when you were rejected from home after home, although you were perfectly willing and perfectly capable of paying and renting legally?
Exactly. It was really disappointing that, you know, people who really matter to you are totally fine with it, but the larger society, the strangers are giving you the cold look because of something you can't do about, you can't help anything about, and it's totally none of their business. What happens in my bedroom stays in my bedroom, and despite that, house owners were, you know, they were really direct in it. Listen, we can't have a gay person in our society. I think societies are the real bullies sometimes too. And Even the roommate that I was looking for, even they were totally fine with it. Usually that's the problem. The roommates are not accepting, but even they were totally fine with it. It's just the house owners who were creating the issue.
All right, Ashok Kavi, we keep coming back to this.
Very quickly, I just want to say that the Constitution is there. It's supposed to be a living document. The laws are made according to the Constitution. If you do not obey those laws, there must be a deterrence. There are certain minimum standards in any society. For example, I'm a secretary of my society. People just keep the garbage out at night only. Cats and dogs come up the staircase. There must be certain minimum social standards to which the whole society has to agree to. That's also possible under the Federation of Societies Act. You are allowed to have certain minimum, but which are applicable to all. You cannot say that the only XYZ has to obey those laws. Everybody has to obey those laws. If you do not obey those laws, you must be punished. And that deterrence is not there in our societies. Let's not only take Hindu or Muslim. There are societies, there are particular patches in Bombay which are called Gautans, when people who don't belong to that religion cannot buy housing there. So let's not go by just caste and community. It's all over discrimination. And the way to stop it is impose the law strictly. See that discrimination is prevented according to the law. If he says that there are certain social standards and all, let's have them on board. If XYZ says that I don't want this person next to me, why? You have no right to say that. Because according to the law, he's got a right to be there. I
want to ask Sujay Kanthabala this. If I face discrimination today on any of these things, what can I do? Legally, what are my options?
Well, as a citizen, if you face any of these issues, there is a court of law available. You can enforce your rights in a court of law. We have a very vigilant and vibrant judiciary, and our courts are always open to such cases, and the judges are waiting to give relief in such kind of cases. And law evolves. Different situations and different kind of propositions in law, they create new law. So therefore, if there is a situation, any wise lawyer would create those and formulate those questions of law which would fall for the consideration of the honorable courts. And we have a judiciary who is there, Bombay High Court. What a great tradition. And our lower courts also. So therefore, courts are always there.
Approach the courts. You're saying approach the courts. I want to bring in now, I'll try again, Pandit Ajay Gautam, if you can hear me right now. I want to understand from you what you believe the solutions are, and if we should be looking for solutions for this problem right now.
Look, first of all, when the society makes the rules and bylaws was registered before the concerned officer. Okay, and suppose I give you an example. If Jain peoples make a society for themselves only, and we will allot our houses for the community of the Jain peoples only, then how can you force to the other peoples, will be they allowed to live with them only? Under which rule and which act? I am saying that when in this country, there is a very differentiate in this country, and our constitution gives the guarantee to me the right to live with human dignity as per my fundamental right, as per my religious belief. So it's guaranteed by the Constitution of India. Nobody can force me that I will be smell mutton or chicken by my neighbors. So the issue is that when in this country act, rules and constitution made on the name of religion and caste, so then there is itself very clear.
Okay, Pandit Gautam, do you believe that being made?
Nobody can force me. I will be tented down my house of the society to the other people. Suppose in Okla you are saying you are targeting the Hindu. I don't know for why. Just take example of Okla and other peoples where the Muslims are living in majority. They can't allow a Hindu family to live in this area. Just a live example of is the Kerala. The the Muslims are the 80% in this area, and Hindu are sold out their houses, which cost is 1 crore rupees, and they sold it out their house just in 10 lakhs. This is a classical example. What kind of behave Hindu are facing where they are in the minority in certain places, but nobody can raise voice of Hindus because they are the Hindu, and nobody here to. They have to take care of the Hindus because we are facing the appeasement and the polarizations. for the last 70 years. Now issue is that as per the freedom of expression which is guaranteed by Constitution of India under Article 19.1, I feel that this is the Hindu Rashtra and this will be exclusively for the Hindus only. This is my freedom of expression.
Okay.
Maybe you agree or disagree. So
Okay, Pandit Ajay Gautam, if the land belongs to the trust, okay, I'm answering your question.
The rules very clear that this is just for the Gautams and Brahmins only. Then nobody can force me, and there is no violation of any law. My fellow
Sujay Kantawala, please respond.
Simple answer is this.
We're
Simple answer.
responding. Pandit Ajay Gautam, we are responding to the issue
Simple
raised
answer
by
is
you.
this.
Pandit Ajay Gautam, we've responded. Please
Simple
listen.
answer is this, that suppose one of the Jains who are staying in this society wants to sell his flat to Mr. Patan, for example. Can anyone restrain? No. If Mr. Patan is willing to pay the price for the flat which Mr. Jain is willing to sell, and none of the other Jains are willing to pay that price, then nobody can stop Mr. Jain from selling to Mr. Patan. Therefore, I said that dialogue is very important. Dialogue is very important. Only these things will be ironed out. You have to iron out the creases. These are creases which you need to iron out.
That no person shall be deprived of his right to property.
Okay. The lawyers on the panel answer this question for me. The lawyers on the panel, let's be fair and address the point raised by Pandit Ajay Gautam. There are in our society Jain-only societies, Catholic-only societies, Muslim-only, Parsi-only buildings. Are those buildings allowed to deny residence to anybody else?
Legally speaking, they cannot, because the Bombay High Court in numerous judgments like the Talmakiwadi Housing Society case has said that such restrictive conditions cannot be incorporated in any society bylaws. No person can be denied the right to live in a housing society because of his religion or caste.
Even if the land and the building are owned by the trust?
Exactly.
Even if the land and the building are owned by a trust?
At the same time, the land and building may be owned, but if there's a society, the society bylaws will be subservient to the Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act and the Constitution. And under Section 22 and 23 of the MCSA Act, only a few criteria are laid down.
Naveen Chomal, do you disagree?
Being a major,
disagrees.
if those criteria are fulfilled,
okay, one second. Let Naveen respond. Naveen disagrees.
He is not correct on the law. Supposing it is a Parsi trust and the trust is formed for the welfare of the Parsi communities, they build the houses on their land, and it is their right to give it for the welfare of Parsi people only.
There is only one judgment of Gujarat High Court which has made an exception in favor of Parsis. Otherwise, for all other communities, the law is clear of no discrimination.
Please don't. Viewers are listening on this channel. Please don't mislead the viewers.
I agree to a certain extent to what Naveen is saying, because there are Parsi communities, these Parsi community societies like Kuchrubar example. A non-Parsi cannot buy a flat over there. And if a Parsi girl marries a non-Parsi boy, then she has to move out.
Yeah, she's not.
Yeah, so therefore, I agree that there are such societies which are there. They're there. How do we avoid this?
Let me ask one more thing.
This should not be allowed to propagate.
No. Let's just make it clear. Are you telling me that if the land is owned by a trust, it's allowed? If the land is not owned by the trust, it's not allowed, according to the law? Is that what the three lawyers on the panel are telling
you? Well, if there is a CHS, it is not allowed. Any building with more than 10 flats, there has to be a cooperative housing society. And once there is a CHS, such restrictive conditions cannot be imposed because they will automatically be declared as illegal.
Okay,
and further, one more point to be made here. In case any person is affected by such discrimination, he has a very efficacious remedy available under Section 91 of the Cooperative Societies Act.
Baris Patan is also a lawyer. One second.
See, when a society is applying to the BMC for asking for permission to construct a particular society, nowhere do they say that we are constructing this society only for Parsis or Christians or any other community. Like in Bandra, there is a particular society, Salt Shed Society. There is an agreement before that which says that those society will only be developed by Christians for a Christian community. They have laid down the law in that. But those kind of laws must not exist now. Those were the British time laws which we are still continuing with it, madam. Now the stage has come where we all are living together in peace and harmony, and each and every individual has got a right to stay in a society of his own choice, and that the government must formulate certain strategies, certain laws to ensure that a person who wants to live as per the Article 21 and 19 of the Constitution, which is fundamentally entitled to, he must be allowed to stay there.
What are his views? See, Faye, I ask a reverse question. What is happening in the SBUT
community? Made by a Bora community for a Bora, particularly for the... So if if a particular person wants to stay there, he should be given permission and a flat should be given it to him.
But that is not going to happen over there.
Nobody will disallow them to stay there.
That is not
but
going to
let the
happen
person
over there.
approach.
Okay, our stand here is not from against one community or to one's community. Our stand is against discrimination altogether. Right. It doesn't matter which community we are talking about. I want to bring in Amit. Amit is on the phone line. Amit has called us this evening. Amit, go ahead. What experience have you had? Amit.
Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Yes, go ahead, Amit.
Ma'am, there is a building in Kandivali.
Yes.
In the tower. The builder is advertising in papers for sale of flats. But only Jains are allowed, not even Hindus are allowed in that society. Oh, God, no. So it's not that of discrimination of law.
That is definitely discrimination. Amit, has the developer spoken to you and actually said that only Jains are allowed?
Only Jains, even Hindus are not allowed.
And what is the reason the developer has given you?
That he's not giving any reasons. Only Jains, and that also no onions are allowed, no potatoes are allowed, anything is not allowed.
Shocking.
But I can show you so many flats in that locality. Even Jains are eating non-veg in their flats.
So tell me something, Amit, what is the name of this developer?
I don't know the name of the developer, but the society's name is V Tower in Mavin Nagar.
Okay.
I've gone to see in the flat, but I was being told that only Jains are allowed, no other community.
Okay. I'm going to make another attempt to communicate with Pandit Ajay Gautam. Here we are having discrimination even within communities. And we are not talking about any particular community. We know that there are entirely Catholic buildings that don't allow anybody else to live there. There are entirely Muslim buildings, like you pointed out, that doesn't allow anybody else to live there. Here, a Jain building that won't even allow Hindus to occupy that building.
That is a very rare example.
One at a time. No, my question was to Pandit Ajay Gautam.
Article 25 of the Constitution.
Yes, go ahead.
Right to live with their religious belief. Nobody can have to interfere in their religious functions.
But they are living with their religious beliefs in their houses. Why should they impose that into someone else's life?
That's circumstances. And I have a very simple question with
I think you interpreted the law in your own way and for your own convenience.
Property, which is the
as you misunderstood the law. Mr. Gautam.
Use of Hindu pilgrims for the Amarnath Yatra.
Can we stick to the topic?
Pandit Ajay Gautam.
Can we not digress?
The debate.
Let's not take the political issues.
Yeah,
we are on a different topic. He is talking on some different subject.
Pandit Ajay Gautam, my question to you is simply this.
Mr. Varis Pathan, when you speak provocative tactics to mislead through this channel and using this channel to woo your community, then you are right. And when you are cornered and fixed,
I am not using this channel for any personal gain.
Okay, I'm going to give Dr. Indira Tiwari, if you can simply answer this question.
Please don't politicize the issue. Don't politicize the issue.
Dr. Indira Tiwari, simple question. I have one question. Dr. Indira Tiwari, please listen to me.
Going on in the country.
Dr. Indira Tiwari, please listen to me. I have one question for you.
I am not talking about a particular religion. I am talking in general that there are discriminations going on. Vis-a-vis providing shelter to a particular person in particular society. You are trying to politicize the issue by putting communal thoughts into it.
Do you allow the government property, which is the government property for the Hindu pilgrims? Simple question. You are asking my personal property. I am asking you about the government property, which you can be ruled out under the Waqf Act. And you are asking about my personal property.
How is a
Give me the simple answer about the property. Do you allow or not?
Okay. So here,
deviating from the subject.
Absolutely deviating
we're completely digressing from the topic. The topic I want to reiterate one more time
Why
is
you are
simply
deviating
this.
from the subject?
The subject that we're talking about is discrimination in housing societies. Discrimination in housing societies based on religion, food habits, gender, sexual orientation, or marital status.
Points to make, kindly keep quiet, Mr. Gautam.
Listen.
I think that this is also the.
Can you do one thing? If I do not like non-veg, can you leave or can you get away from your non-veg habits? Just tell me.
No.
If I do not like that there should be no non-veg, will you ever admit that yes, from today, just to have an harmonious relationship with me, you will leave.
Dr. Indira Tiwari, if you do not like non-veg, don't bring it into your house.
Yes,
Don't bring it into your house.
Exactly.
That's what.
Do not bring it into your house. Nobody can have the right to say not in the building. You do not have the right to deny somebody residence because you do not like non-veg. Not unless you own the whole land that we are talking about. Do you own the land that the building is standing on? Do you own the land that the building is standing on?
You don't it if you don't like. How can you impose your thoughts on others?
If you cannot leave your habits, how can you expect?
In my house, I do not have to leave any habits. In my house, I do not have to leave any habits. If I have the ability to buy the house, if I have the ability to buy the house, I have the right to live any way as long as I live legally.
To vent your beliefs, to practice your religion.
I don't even want
the
to
law
leave
has
your
granted this
bigotry.
freedom.
Nobody wants to live in your house, Dr. Tiwari. Nobody wants to live in your house. We're talking about housing societies here. You're not paying attention to the question.
You cannot enforce your whims and beliefs beyond the four corners of your house, madam. You should remember that.
Indira Tiwari, you can feel free to hate anybody, you can feel free to dislike anybody, but the law will not.
I have to wind up this debate. I have to wind up this debate right now. But I want to point out to our audience. I want to point out to our audience that as Indians, this constitution allows us the freedom to our religion. We are a secular country. The freedom that we have to exercise within our homes, in the four walls of our homes. We have laws, and as long as you keep within those laws, nobody can deny you residence in any building. Our stand is against discrimination of any kind in any housing society. If you are facing a problem, get in touch. I'm going to put my personal contact details on the screen right now. Get in touch. We stand with you. We stand with your right to buy a home that you are entitled to, provided you have the ability, the financial ability to do so, and provided you can do so in a legal manner. I will not let this conversation die. We are going to go out and find out which are the buildings that are discriminating. We're going to find out which are the developers that are discriminating, and we're going to put those names up on our screen. And we're going to push each and every state government in this country to come up with a rule that prevents and outlaws discrimination in housing societies. That is my personal commitment to our viewers tonight. Thanks for watching.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/magicbricksnow. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at magicbricksnow. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/magicbricksnow.